coconut. This podcast is intended for adult listeners. It contains coarse language and is not suitable for younger listeners.
Or some older listeners.
Or just some sensitive listeners.
Don't be sensitive if you're going to.
Don't. Yeah. Go away. Don't even listen any further. You might already be offended. You already lost you.
They're gone.
And also, if you're looking for a podcast that discusses the latest in fall fashion.
A podcast that puts you to sleep.
A podcast that is literally an hour of my neighborhood's white noise.
Or a podcast that tells you the secret tip for always putting the USB in the right way every time.
Then this is not the podcast for you. I'm Sarah, that's Haley, and we are here to lovingly embrace you with our voices. Hit it. Cha-cha-cha. Folks, we'd like to take a moment to thank our friends at Fansets for being the exclusive sponsor of Trek Rewind. This group of hardworking, creative geniuses are always coming up with new and exciting things. And Haley, I took a look at their website yesterday. Star Trek, The Women of Trek, Una, who is number 1, played by Rebecca Romijn.
Love.
A special one, and it's got glitter. Ugh. Then there's a Martok and Gowron, which we've had lunch with them at a Klingon blood lunch or whatever the hell it was called.
That was the carrot coin lunch.
There you go. Another Women of Trek one. It's 7 of 9, but like Picard version of 7 of 9.
Ooh,
so like the hottest version of 7 of 9. Then there was some STLV ones. They did an Enterprise anniversary pin and a First Contact 25th anniversary. It's been 25 years since First Contact. That's crazy.
What?
I know. Anyway, they had some cool stuff.
That's awesome.
I know. So go check it out, people, if you haven't seen those yet. And they have lots more other stuff that's not even Star Trek. If you want Harry Potter or you know what it is. You know all of it. You can go there more than I do about it. And also because you guys are listening and you're rad and we like our listeners, we want to give you a 10% discount code. And you know what it is. It's Rewind in all caps. So use it. What do you have to say, Haley?
Fansets. Our pins have character, and we thank our friends at Fansets for being the presenting sponsor of Trek Rewind.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Fansets.
Boop, 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 boop. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good today because it's the weekend. My new job is kicking my butt. It is so intense, and I've had moments of regret, but I've also had moments of I can do this. So it's like that. Change is scary, and not knowing what you're doing every 5 seconds is scary. And then having people come to you and being like, I'm new, right? Like I'm not there yet.
I can't solve your problems.
Can't solve your problems. And I kind of miss having being at home. And now I'm in the office.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's fine. It's just kind of you mean you want me to put on real pants?
I was going to say, what do you even wear?
I know.
I was reading somewhere that office sort of culture will change just because they like comfy clothes. If you feel comfortable, you're going to feel better instead of some restrictive dress with tights.
Yep. Not doing that.
No, forget it. And so it was funny when I was going through all my clothes and I was like, wait, no, don't throw out your dresses and work pants because you will have to one day go back to the office and you can't just wear leggings forever. I mean, I can, but shouldn't.
Yeah.
Not a propes.
Not a propes. You know what I did yesterday?
Tell me.
The church near the house had the Succulent Society sale. And the church set up a bunch of tables of succulents and cacti. And I went and I bought $40 worth of succulents. They had some really rare ones that were $25 each. And I was like, I don't want to kill that. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not there yet. But I got one that looks like they're really tall. It look like little crab legs coming out of the dirt. And they're going from a dark red to an orange to a yellow tip and hot pink. It's really cool.
Wow.
I'll send you photos. And then I got another one that's got it looks like little, I almost want to say liquid pills, with a flower that blooms off of it. And then yeah, I got some really weird things I've never seen before. So I have them downstairs under my grow light because of my other seeds, but I haven't even had a chance to think about like, now what do I really want to do with these? Like, do I want to do like one big display and kind of try to have it somewhere close to a window, or do I want to Yeah. But I'm excited.
That's great. Oh, yeah. Cool. And then cool. Like, was it sort of a fundraiser thing also, or just like?
No, it's that there's this society, this succulent cactus, like, you know, enthusiast club. It's $20 a year to join. They meet once a month and talk about succulents. And then twice a year they put on a show because they all are growers and have their greenhouses. So this is a chance for them to like make money, and they probably put some into their own kitty and then do it as like a business. So yeah, there was like one display that was just display only, and it was like a fancy like whoa. And then there was about 4 tables, like long tables, like what you'd see in a church bazaar, full of all different types of plants and cacti and hanging baskets, and some were already like beautiful displays for a bit more, and then they all had their little like check out my Instagram page, and we grew them all here on the island, and yeah, it was fun.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah. I like that, and it's like a community feel as well. Like cool. As I look at my dead and dying plants.
It can be a lot of work.
Well, I left them for 2 weeks, and then it was really hot.
Yeah, there you go.
And they can't all make it.
They can't all make it. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm good. I don't really have a lot to update you on. Work has been insane because we're getting that vaccine card thing starting tomorrow. Mm-hmm. That's been fun. So everyone and their dog's like, when do I have to use the vaccine card? And I'm like, just
watch
everywhere.
The news.
Just
everything's on the website, because Brad and I were reading it, and we're like, okay, clearly we don't need to worry about it if we're going to McDonald's, but we need to worry about it if we're going to a pub or restaurant. Like, and we hardly go out anyways. We're not going to any concerts anytime soon or any event.
Hell no.
For us, it's like, it doesn't make a difference.
No. And
our lives are not changing.
No, I know. Same. So that's been fun. And I was in Vancouver for the last week, and now we're back in Victoria. I'm by city, so
keep a place in both cities.
Yeah, it's good times. It's fun on the wallet. But we had like such a beautiful ferry ride home on Friday afternoon. We were at the very front of the boat, Jack and Rose, and just warm, calm water. Perfect. There was dolphins. I didn't see them. I kept blinking and they were gone. And damn it.
You got to prop your eyes open with your fingers and be that weird person who's just like, I just want to see the and then you get something in your eye, and it's the whole thing.
It's exactly. It's like you were there. And then other than that, I'm going to try my hand at making pho from scratch this afternoon. So I've got all them bones. I got all pork and beef. Mm-mm. Yeah. And then you're supposed to like grill onion and ginger, so it's kind of smoky, and then just go from there. So I'll let you know. And and then back to the slog tomorrow. Work.
You know it. Yeah. Yeah, nothing else is really that crazy. We're still on our Seinfeld watch. We're in season 6, and we just watched the episode with which one was it? My brain is so overused right now because of work. I don't remember anything.
Ugly Baby?
No, it was, okay. Remember there was that episode where the guy got injured and Elaine stopped to get juju bees or like and he was all mad. And then it's when they see him again, and somebody said to him like, Elaine says hi. And she's like, I didn't say hi. And he was like writing his book. And then George was dating a woman who he loved the apartment, and her roommate was a guy that looked like George.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's where we're at. So, and then meanwhile, Kramer and Newman were playing Risk, and it was like they're leaving it in Jerry's apartment because it was a neutral ground, so nobody would cheat.
Yeah.
So funny.
That's funny.
And then I started Schitt's Creek from the beginning. I wanted to watch a few episodes, and I just was like, I got to give this its full attention. This will be the next one after Seinfeld. So
it's so good. It's such a feel-good show.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah. John keeps slapping my hands down because I keep doing like Alexis things with my hands, and he's like, stop it.
I know. You're a little bit Alexis.
I am. I can't help it.
I love it. I love him, Dan Levy. Everything. I want to be like his character, that I want to be that disgusted by things and like not hide it and try and be polite, because he's always just like, oh my God. It's like, that's how I internally am about a lot of things, but I never really try to let it show out of being polite. And I'm like,
he's so good.
He's so good. He's a treasure. I love him. I just want to put him in my pocket and have him everywhere to everything in my life.
That sounds good. I would like that too.
Yeah. Let's just get right to it. I'm excited for you to read the synopsis, or to hear your synopsis. I mean, that you wrote yourself.
Yeah.
I was really excited to watch this episode too. It was actually a lot better than the first one, because the first one I was really like,
I know, the cliffhanger lore, Data's uncle. All right, so Descent Part 2.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's still be friends after this. I don't know how this is going to go. Okay?
Yeah, you bet. Pinky swear. Virtual pinky swear.
Got it. So, full disclosure, I wrote this synopsis from the common room in the BC Provincial Female Holding Cell after being picked up on charges of mischief. So, if this is a more emotional synopsis, you know why. So, last time we watched this season... Sarah... Last time we watched the season 2 episode, we saw Data's uncle Lore, right? Right. So here we go. Lore, played by Bent Spinner, is full of emotion. He's all proud and cocky, and oh no, so is Data. He has emotion now too. Troy senses it, and here we have just what we've been wanting. 2 over-emotional robots. The three Starfleet generals, Troy, LeVar, and Picard, stand with their phasers pointing up awkwardly while Data and Lore talk about how loyal they are to each other and how Picard's playing around with Hugh messed up the Barg collective. Lore found them all effed up, broken, and in disarray, and he gave them purpose. And now Lore and Data are filled with glee at being perfection, and now biological species are on their way out like last season's high-rise denim jeans. Thank you, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
I never got into those.
Bye.
Crusher and a new ensign on the block are in charge of the ship, and they are very out of their element. But it's okay, because Benito Martinez from SOA, thank you, I thought it was him, and the Shield, is in the transporter room taking care of business. What was his name? Like Salazar or something?
Yep.
In
Salazar.
the show. Yeah. It's a painful sequence of 2 women out of their comfort zone trying to save lives, but ended up leaving 47 people behind on a planet, Riker and Worf included. Riker puts Crusher in her place by constantly using her first name because he's a dink of a man. Data has the blues, and he's only getting bad emotions from his uncle, anger and rage and hangry. He takes Geordi's visor like a dick and declares, I am not a puppet anymore. I am a real boy. A severe-looking mustard officer claims he has the answers to all problems when it comes to beaming up those left behind. Him and his high cheekbones and wind-blown hair tell it like it is, and Crusher is crushing it now. Lore wants to use the trio to experiment, but so far it's resulted in brain damage. So now I'm scared they're going to experiment on Picard and he could die. And it makes me think about the men's store guy who could die, and now I'm crying uncontrollably. It's true. He got fired, right? Do you know that?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, well, I'm
podcast.
Yeah, no doubt.
Where are those commercial actors now?
You're going to like it. You're going to like the way Hugh has shown up. Riker and Worf are with him, and they are looking at 2 broken Borg that literally look like how I feel after a night of Ed Hardy wine in Vegas. True. Geordi is strapped into an exact replica of the bed prescribed to me for my back misalignment, and Data is neutralizing pain receptors in Geordi, and the whole scene has a 50 Shades of Mustard vibe going on. Picard brutally murders an innocent Barg, but at the same exact moment, douchebag Data is returning with a messed up Geordi. This episode is dark. And then the dumbest thing ever happens. Troy asks Geordi if he is in pain. Can't she sense that? She sure as shit could in season 1, episode 1. Fuck's sakes. True. Crusher and the transporter dude Salazar, aka Salad Sar. They're saving lives. It's a matter of life and death, and I'm so pleased. In fact, I'm tickled pink to see Crusher kick butt. To think she has such a strong episode, only to soon follow up with the green fart ghost sex episode. Shields up, red alert. And I want to sing, Beverly, You don't have to put on the red light. Like that song by the Cops. Roxanne. Yeah. I'd like to take this moment to say how handsome LeVar is, and he has beautiful teeth and a great smile. Now back to the storyline. Geordi is bringing up memories and trying to connect with mean torture master Data, and I don't know if it's helping. Data is so hard to read. He's having doubts, and Laura's much more evil, powerful, sexy, mysterious, dangerous. Bad boy. Gross. Uncle Laura is giving Data weird pleasure emotions, and it's all rather uncomfortable. This is not a show for children, people. The ensign talks back and fights to be heard and throws shade at Lieutenant Cheekbones, who giggles with delight that the ensign didn't blow them up. Girl power up in here! Oh man, I took a few moments to check on my 18 Tamagotchis and looked up to find Lore telling Data to kill Picard, but now Lore wants to kill Data, and Hugh saves the day by launching himself onto Lore's arm. There's fighting in every corner of the room, and Lore slips out. Lore shows Data his bent back fingernail trick again, and it grosses him out so much that he shoots Lore and deactivates him. Thank God. Data wants Lore disassembled. Hugh is going to try and lead his Borg buddies, and Picard wishes him luck. Geordi, being a better man than most, forgives Data, and even saves his emotion chip for a date TBD. Data's cat, Buttons, is there too. The end. Buttons.
It was that or socks, right?
Yeah, oh, so good.
Socks.
Well done.
I have some thoughts on this episode.
Okay.
This was much better than the first one, in my opinion.
Agree.
Because Laura and Data together is just like, that's what you want.
Totally.
Like, bring it on. I want it. And there's more action. I loved Beverly Crusher in this episode. Taking charge, up there, kind of looking around, being like, there's a lot of beeping lights, and I got a chick up here who really doesn't know what she's doing because it's her first day on the job. But they did it, and they did it well. It wasn't like over the top cheesy. They even kind of put that cheekbone guy in his place.
Yeah.
Hugh was so good in this. He's such a good character. Now I want to rewatch Picard because Hugh's so good in Picard and looks good in Picard. Ooh, damn. And Laura's outfit was hot. And I just like that there was a lot of like supporting cast in this that we'd never seen before, like Salazar, Cheekbone Guy, the ensign chick that was helping out Crusher. Like that was like they all like held their own. And usually that doesn't happen. Yeah. And I read that they originally wanted to put Barkley in that part of instead of the girl, and I'm glad they didn't. Like, even though I like Barkley, and it would have been too intense, and he would have been too much. I think she was good because she did her job.
Yeah, she did. She was nervous, but she was able to do it, and that was good. I agree. I thought she was the actress from Days of Our Lives, but she wasn't. I don't think. Who, Lexi? Yeah. So I think Lexi was played by a few actresses over the course of the series, and I was she was. Mm-hmm. That's so funny. Like, why does my brain know that? Lore's hockey pad outfit with the abs. Yeah, I liked it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd like to see that on my floor. Oh, there you go. Yeah, nice. There's a really good new commercial out for a Star Trek. This is where all the listeners are going to be like pulling their hair out because I'm not going to get it right, and they're going to be like yelling at they're wherever they are in the grocery store where they listen to this podcast. I don't know where they listen to this podcast in their car. There's a new video game that's supposed to be on like your app, like a phone app, like Star Trek game, and the commercial is Jonathan Frakes, LeVar Burton, and Brent Spiner, and they all look like the hottest dads in the world in their different chairs that they're sitting in, and it's like Google it or look for it on YouTube, whatever the ads are for this new game. Because I saw it on Twitter scrolling through, and I was like, Haley's gonna like this. This is Haley's material. I gotta see. Yeah, it's good. I wonder if I can figure out what it's called while you tell me your thoughts on the episode. Okay. I also really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was interesting that Data was neutralizing Geordi's pain receptors. Like, that to me was kind of like, he didn't have to do that. So it was kind of his goodness shining through. I also thought Brent Spiner must have had such a gas with this episode because, he gets to be a little bit out of the box, and John was like, "Wow, that's Brent Spiner's older brother playing Lore." I'm like, "No, it's not." He was just kidding anyway. But yeah, and Lore is like such a great character. And then I thought also disassemble Lore. I'm sorry, but B4 was also disassembled, and they were able to reassemble him. And so disassembling Lore is not necessarily going to neutralize him in any way unless they actually like throw the pieces of his body through space. But other than that, I really enjoyed it as well. Yeah, I'm glad that like Beverly was like, wait a second, we don't have to physically go back to send a signal. Just do it with a beacon and turn around and go get those 47 people you left. And then like when Riker and Worf get like ambushed by the Borg, like when they're trying to sneak up to the observatory thing or whatever, I was like, come on, man. Like what? You're like Chief of Secure, like anyway. But
the planet was beautiful that they were on. There was like this nice like sunset kind of like purpley sky.
Sepia tone.
Sepia, yeah. Which Instagram filter is that one?
Right? Valencia.
How am I unable to find, like, it felt like the other day, all I was seeing was ads on this goddamn game. And now it's like nowhere to be found. Can we phone a friend? How does that work?
There, I just found it now.
Oh.
Like literally, Sarah, Star Trek game commercial 2021. That's all you have to do.
Okay. I'm just going through Twitter looking at like Jonathan Frakes and all them being like, where did you guys retweet this? Are you supporting your own work?
Oh man, I'm watching it right now. Hang on.
Ooh, we get the I think there's a few different ones. I saw one where like Brent was like dancing around or something.
Oh,
and it was
fun.
Like, yeah, I think they did a bunch of different commercials.
The one that I just saw had Geordi with his like thing. You know the thing? It's like a
Pfizer?
Shield. No. No.
What's the game called?
Fleet Command. Star Trek.
There it is. Oh, I'm even following their account.
Oh.
On Twitter. So
there you go.
I might YouTube later and see how many there are. If there's like 3 or 4 videos, but either way, the commercials, I was just like, they look so cute. They're having so much fun. They're all best friends in real life. I love that. And that's always my favorite thing about seeing them on stage is that they always talk about like, oh, we all got together for Christmas. And like, they're just it's just so nice to see that after all this time.
Yeah.
They're all still like BFFs. Super cute.
Super cute.
Great episode.
Loved it.
Loved it. Let's find some fast facts here.
Okay. I have one.
Sure.
I knew I recognized this from somewhere. Lore's Borg compound is also the command center in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I never watched it, but I had a feeling.
Oh man, such a good show.
Didn't one of them murder somebody?
Yeah, it was the Red Ranger from like after Jason.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Laura's final scene is similar to the deactivation of HAL 9000 in 2001: A Space Odyssey, 1968. Indeed, both characters start appealing to the compassion of the person trying to deactivate them after previously threatening that person, and both pronounce their final words in a deep, slow voice as their systems fail. And side note, as that scene was happening, I just kept thinking of Michael Scott.
Yes,
I was just learning to love.
That's us too. That's so funny. I love how Pam knows how to like shut him down. Like, Michael, I was just learning to love. Like in his smile.
Oh God, that's all I was picturing.
Me too.
Oh, I'm so glad.
That's funny. The actor James Horan, who plays Lieutenant Barnaby in this episode, also played Dr. Jabril in Star Trek The Next Generation Suspicions, 1993, from season 6. The first episode featured the invention of a metaphasic shield to allow a ship to enter the corona of a sun. In this episode, Horan's character suggests using the same metaphasic shield to hide the Enterprise in the sun's corona to escape the Borg ship. Side note, John brought this up. Why would they call it the sun? That's not the sun. That's just a star.
Right?
And then
that's a good one.
And then I like do this stupid question where I'm like, well, but like, is any star that has like celestial bodies orbiting it considered a sun? And he's like, no, we just call our star the sun or Sol. And I was like, fudge. Sorry.
That's brought up in one of the fast facts, and I didn't use it.
Oh.
Because I didn't pull all the ones from Internet Movie Database, because sometimes you just don't need to have a billion things.
It actually is in here.
Yeah. The design of Data's emotional chip seen here is different than the one seen in Star Trek Generations, 1994.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Oh, and then look at this.
It is. There you go. At one point, Tate, I was like, Tate?
I was going to write that too. And I was like, don't do it.
No, because Tate refers to a star as the sun. That is done ever so often on the show. Nevertheless, it is technically a star. Tate is from the science section and should know this.
You should know this. You're fired. Even though you saved the day, that's not enough.
Yeah.
You got a word wrong.
Yeah.
When Dr. Crusher captains the Enterprise, she gives an order to the helm. Helm, set a course to the conduit. At that moment, you hear Officer Tate responding, "Aye, sir." Tate was not at the helm.
Classic rookie move. Ensign Tate says she has modified the ship's tractor beam emitter to generate a high-energy pulse that can be used to create a large coronal eruption that could destroy the Borg ship. However, when she emits the beam, it is shown coming from the ship's ventral phaser emitter. The tractor beam emitter is located a little further back on the ventral side of the secondary hull.
You just did that so Alexa style, it's not even funny.
Yeah. I just saw a blue jay in the backyard while writing this.
I did, and I had to write it down because you talked about it in all the ones you saw in Ontario.
You saw a real blue jay or a stellar jay?
Oh, I don't know. But it had like the weird head shape, and it was blue, like a dark blue.
Oh, that's a stellar jay. But that's okay. That's so exciting. I'm glad that I read that out for you.
I saw that, and then I saw two pigeons fighting, and then I saw a woodpecker fighting a pigeon, and I was like, what is going on in my backyard? That was yesterday morning.
I like birds. When birds start acting weird, it makes me uncomfortable.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
See it?
Do you say see this? I say see it.
Don't fucking see it. Absolutely.
And the guys said see it too. Both Bill and Dan said see it.
Oh, good. Yeah, as they should, because it's good.
It is good. I didn't come up with a would you rather for this. I didn't really have anything. I couldn't think. Would you rather wear Laura's outfit, or would you rather save the ship?
Jeez, actually, that one's kind of tough. Can't it be both? Would you rather watch this episode or watch an episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
Oh, I'd rather watch this episode again.
Yeah, me too.
Do we see Laura again?
What?
Or is that it? Do we see Laura again, or is that it?
That's a good question, because this is season 7, correct?
Start of season 7.
So I can't imagine that we see him again.
No.
Which is kind of sad.
I wonder what happened to his bits and pieces. Do they bring it? Why do I feel like it's brought up at some point with maybe B4 in Generations or in Nemesis? I don't know. I should look up some Star Trek Wikipedia, get some fast facts, because I wouldn't be surprised if it's brought up maybe in a future episode of Picard, because now we're touching base on a whole bunch of weird post data, like it's a big thing of the show.
Yeah.
That show is good.
Oh,
fuck, that show was so good.
Yeah, man.
I think it's one of my favorite series of Star Trek.
It is really good. Yeah.
Just because I love that it's like this is the first time you're watching a Star Trek series where the ship is being run by a like ragtag troupe of motley crew. Like it's just like a bunch of random weird people coming together, and it makes me think of like Ocean's 11, where it's like, do we need one more? We need one more. Let's pick up Raffi, and or let's get 7 of 9 showing up, and and you never know what guest star is going to come in, because I remember when the first trailer drops and you get like a hint of like 7 of 9, you're like, oh my god, and then you get a hint of like Q, and then you see Icheb and you're like,
the heck.
And now obviously they're dropping hints like Q. But then you don't know, like, what other people say, like, oh, I might make an appearance. You're like, really, Michael Dorn? Or really, LeVar? Or really, like, are you saying it to tease? Are you saying it to, because it's true?
Would. Yeah.
Or, like, I would love to see somebody from Deep Space Nine make an appearance just as a random conversation. Like,
why not?
They're
same universe, same time. Yeah, it is so good. It is really good.
It's a great example of how resurrecting something can go so well. And sometimes it can go so bad.
Oh, yeah.
And this is like, people were hungry for this and people wanted it. And the writing is so good.
They did it right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like mad respect, but enough new stuff for anybody new to the series can be like, oh, I understand what's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not all Easter eggs and like hidden inside jokes and stuff, right?
Totally.
Oh, I'm gonna watch them.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So good. We did it. I have an idea for our next episode.
Oh, yay. What is it?
You have to do the synopsis, though. So I don't know if you want to watch this episode and do the work for it, but I was thinking imaginary friend.
Oh, of course. Yes, I will.
With that creepy girl.
I hate that girl.
So creepy.
And she played a bitch on like Full House or something.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
All right. So this is going to bring up a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I am happy to do the work for it. That's a good episode.
It is a good episode.
I like it. Yeah. Did you ever have an imaginary friend?
No.
Me neither. What does that mean?
I think it means that we were active imaginations enough with our own toys that we didn't need to create a kid to play with our toys with.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I remember being a kid and thinking, like, should I have one? And like, that sounds like a lot of work. I don't think I'm gonna remember. That's not doing it for me. Like, I'm fine just to like make up a world with my toys or whatever.
Totally. Yeah, same. Okay, good.
And I had friends too. Like, I had a few friends, so I wasn't like not. Whereas this kid's on a ship with like, there's no kids really.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are you gonna do? Like, go to the holodeck and make a bunch of friends? Oh, actually, why wouldn't they do that?
That's a good idea and totally healthy.
Totally healthy.
Like,
yeah, it worked for Jordy. Oh wait, no, he fell in love with his. Oh gosh, okay. So that's an episode that's considered one of the worst in TNG, and I don't know if I can even bring myself to watching Aquiel. I think I want to watch it at some point because I am loving Jordy so much more now as an adult, and LeVar Burton. I mean, God, that man is a treasure.
He is. He's so good.
I think we should just turn this podcast into a LeVar Burton appreciation podcast.
Well, we can always have a LeVar Burton appreciation corner.
There we go. We'll find fast facts about his life, starting with his childhood and then move all the way up.
That's not creepy at all. It sounds good.
This week we're focusing on his 20 to 24 year range. Like, I don't know.
Did you hear he wanted to help out people during the pandemic by like reading stuff, but because of copyright, like he was going to do a podcast, but because of copyright, he you have to like he would do only publicly available stuff. And then Neil Gaiman, I think his name is, it was in a tweet, and he was like, you have like full access to my whole library of books, LeVar, like read anything and everything I've ever written. And I was
amazing.
Like, this is it was so nice to see, because we're still in this shithole pandemic garbage.
Yeah. And it's not going away.
No.
Like everyone at work is talking everyone at work is talking so much about like, well, when we get those telework agreements in for October, I'm like, stop stressing about it. It's not going to be a thing.
Don't worry about it. No, we're not.
People are not going to be, no one's going back.
I don't want to go back. And do you know that directors, like managers, like excluded staff are supposed to be in the office full time?
I'm in the full office, but I'm under the guise of it being 6-month probation. But even then, I've already been told, like, how's Frank doing? Like, you want to put your telework agreement one day a week. It can be random, just so you have it as a written and backup. But then, like, in like a month or two, like, we'll figure it out. And I was like, like, I have my own office, so I just close the door anyways if I have to. But
so awesome. But you should bring Frank to work.
Oh my gosh, I could do that. Maybe. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I feel good about that episode. You did a great job of reading that synopsis. It's not easy to read somebody else's writing, I find. It just can be hard.
Yeah, it's not. But you're a good writer, and you also know how I speak, and so it's like you wrote it knowing how I would speak it. Whereas when I wrote mine for you, it was like how I would say it.
And you have such a better style of talking, though. Like, you talk more like a human, whereas I'm like a little bit more like
talk more
just
like
learning to love.
Hi, I'm Dave.
But we're both good at picking up on song lyrics. I'll say that because I picked up yours.
Alert! That's so good.
That means it's lunch.
Yeah, I hope it's mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
That would be good. We should have like a song lyric in every synopsis.
Mm-hmm.
That could be good. It could also go horribly wrong.
I also feel like there's potential to really do something funny. And I just had an idea now. I'm not going to spoil it. So.
Okay, well, write it down. Don't forget.
I won't forget.
You write it down.
I wrote it down.
I like the little smile. I'm excited.
Lid on pen. Yay! So what are you going to do for the rest of your day other than make pho? What's going to be on the background? You got someone at the house? Are you going to have some music or a podcast or some TV?
John's taken off up the coast. He gave me all of his where he's going to go. He's going up like past Soup. And so he's because he knew that we were doing podcasting today. So he's like, I'll just take off. So I'll be doing my Soup and then I'll go to Chinatown at some point. And then I wait until 8:00. And if I haven't heard from John, then I have to call search and rescue. So no, like legit. Oh, God. I know. Well, he goes to, and like there's no cell coverage where he's going. And so
he's the guy that you hear about on the news and you yell at the TV being like, what idiot did that without the proper stuff?
Well, and he has all
he could be that guy.
Yeah, he has all the proper stuff, which is good, but he's like,
shit happens.
He's like, I could take a tumble. I'm like, no, a tumble.
Have a heart attack. An alien could come and abduct him.
Bears are in that area. So anyway, I'll be waiting until like 8:00 ticks around, and hopefully I'll hear from him before then. But I'm not going to worry about it. You know why? Because I'm on meds.
At night?
I'm on meds for that. Yes.
So he's not even having any of the pho?
Oh, he'll probably be back before 8.
Oh, okay.
He'll have pho when he comes home.
Okay.
Oh, he'll have it.
He'll have pho whether he likes it or not.
Darn right. And then you're going to watch Seahawks and just graze and snack and be awesome.
I'm going to do that. And then I might do a little bit of work because I brought my laptop home. I just want to organize my notes because I took just so many notes. So I'm like, I just want to come in tomorrow morning, like with a firm list of my to-dos.
Nice.
But also it's the weekend and like nothing's that important in my life at work.
That's,
if people are it's that fine line of the thing is like you can do work if you open up your laptop, you will find work to do, like the to-do list and all that kind of stuff. But I feel the same. I'm like, no, you know what? Like this week is going to be nuts. Like just go in it tomorrow morning, figure it out. Oh, and I'll go over my questions again for my interview tomorrow. Actually, I will ask you something once we stop recording, and then tonight is a new episode of The Walking Dead, so I will be eyes glued watching that because that is my jam, and it's the last season of the series, so every episode is a disastrous treat of carnage and possible character deaths. I don't know what to expect. Ooh. Loving that, and then it'll be like a sleepy time, and I'll be happy for that. Yeah, I love bed.
Me too.
All right, that's it. We did it, folks. That is another episode of Trek Rewind. We hope you enjoyed it because we sure did. And that means tuning in next time because we will be doing Imaginary Friend. If you want to get in touch with us, you can go to the trekgeeks.com website and do different things there, like leaving a voicemail. How old school is that? Twitter is Trek Rewind, and of course the Trek Geeks Network has their Camp Kittimer over on Facebook and other places, like they have Twitters and Instagrams and all that kind of fun stuff. I don't think there's a TikTok yet. Maybe somebody should do that. You could fax us, but I don't really think I have the setup that I want for that. So don't think I'd do that. Don't just do that. Anyway, thanks Haley for being here and having fun. And thanks to everybody over on Patreon and all the supporters, and hi to everybody on the network. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you, 5-Year Mission. Thanks, Fansets. Until next time, Haley Frequencies closed.
I'm hurling.
To infinity.
Bye, friends.
Bye.